The fluorescent lights hummed in the empty corridor of Mercy General Hospital. It was 2:47 a.m. Most of the world was asleep. But Emma. Chen was wide awake. She moved through the intensive care unit with quiet efficiency. Her scrubs were plain blue. Her hair was pulled back in a simple ponytail. Nothing about her suggested anything extraordinary to the other nurses. Emma was unremarkable, polite, competent, maybe a little too calm during emergencies. Dr. Harrison had once called her adequate during rounds. The word had hung in the air like an insult wrapped in professionalism. Emma had simply nodded and continued her work. She checked the monitors in room 304. An elderly man recovering from surgery. His vitals were stable. She adjusted his IV drip with practiced hands. The smell of antiseptic mixed with the faint coffee brewing in the break room. These were the quiet hours. The hours Emma preferred. She walked to the nurse's station and began updating patient charts. Her handwriting was precise, controlled. Still here, Chen? Dr. Morrison appeared from the stairwell, clutching an energy drink. His tie was loose. His eyes were tired. Night shift, Emma replied without looking up. Right, yawned. Well, try not to wake anyone. Some of us have actual surgeries in the morning. Emma's pen paused for just a fraction of a second. Then she continued writing. Of course, doctor. He disappeared down the hallway. His footsteps faded. Emma took a slow breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth, a technique she'd learned long ago. In a different life, under different circumstances, if you're enjoying this story, hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss what happens next. The elevator dinged. Emma glanced up. A woman stumbled out, mid-30s, blonde hair matted with something dark. Her hand pressed against her abdomen. Red seeped through her fingers. Help, the woman whispered. Emma was moving before the word finished leaving the woman's lips. She caught her just as her knees buckled. I need a gurney, Emma called out. Her voice was steady. Commanding Nurse Jackie appeared from around the corner. Her eyes went wide. Get Dr. Morrison, now. Jackie ran. Emma lowered the woman onto the floor. She applied pressure to the wound. Gunshot, entry wound. No exit. The bleeding was arterial. What's your name? Emma asked. Sarah. The woman's eyes were unfocused. He's coming. He's still coming? Who's coming? My husband. He shot me. He said he'd finish it. Emma's jaw tightened. She pulled her stethoscope from around her neck and listened to Sarah's breathing. Lung sounds diminished on the left side. Pneumothorax. Possibly hemothorax. You're going to be okay, Emma said. I promise. Dr. Morrison jogged up with Jackie. He looked down at Sarah and swore under his breath. Done shot. Wound to the abdomen, Emma reported. Decreased breath sounds left side. BP dropping. We need to move her to OR now. Morrison nodded. For once he didn't argue. They lifted Sarah onto the gurney. Jackie started an IV line as they moved. Emma kept pressure on the wound. The automatic doors to the OR wing whooshed open. Behind them, the elevator dinged again. Emma glanced back. A man stepped out, tall, broad shoulders. His right hand was inside his jacket. His eyes scanned the hallway like a predator searching for prey. He locked eyes with Emma and smiled. There. You are, he said. His hand emerged from his jacket. He was holding a gun. Emma's world shifted. The hospital sounds faded. Her training kicked in. Muscle memory older than her nursing license. She'd spent years trying to forget what she could do tonight. She'd have to remember. Get her to OR, Emma said quietly. She didn't take her eyes off the gunman. Dr. Morrison hesitated. Chen, what are you now? Something in her voice made him obey. Jackie and Morrison pushed the gurney through the OR doors. They swung shut with a soft thud. The gunman took a step forward. His boots were heavy on the linoleum. The gun hung casually at his side. You think you can save her? He asked. That's my wife. She's mine. Emma stood perfectly still. Her hands were covered in Sarah's blood. She didn't wipe them clean. Sir, you need to leave, she said. Her voice was calm, professional. "Security has been notified." The man laughed. It was an ugly sound. "Security? You mean Larry? The old guy who watches Netflix at the front desk?" He raised the gun, pointed it at Emma's chest. "I already passed him." He didn't even look up. Emma's pulse was steady. 60 beats per minute. The same as always. She calculated distances, angles, threat assessment, 7 meters. Glock 19. Extended magazine. Right-handed grip. Finger on the trigger. Poor stance. Emotional. Unstable. Amateur. "What's your name?" Emma asked. "What? Your name? If we're going to talk, I'd like to know your name." He blinked. Confusion flickered across his face. "Marcus," he said finally. "Marcus, I'm Emma. I'm a nurse here. Sarah is in surgery right now. She's going to survive." "No," Marcus shook his head. "No, she can't. She was leaving me. She said she was done." "You don't leave me. Nobody leaves me. She can make her own choices, Marcus." His finger tightened on the trigger. Emma's weight shifted. Perceptible. Ready. "Don't tell me what she can do." Marcus shouted. "I'm going in there. I'm going to finish this. I can't let you do that." He stared at her. Then he laughed again. "You? A nurse? You're going to stop me?" Emma said nothing. Marcus took another step forward, then another. The gun never wavered. "Move," he ordered. Emma didn't move. Said, "Move." No, something changed in Marcus's eyes. Rage replaced confusion. He lunged forward. The gun came up. Emma moved. Her right hand swept across her body, deflected the gun to the outside. Her left hand drove into Marcus's wrist. Radial nerve strike. His fingers went numb. The gun clattered to the floor. Marcus's eyes went wide. Emma's foot hooked behind his knee. She drove her palm into his chest. He went down hard. The back of his head bounced off the floor. Before he could recover, Emma was on him. Knee on his spine, his arm twisted behind his back. Controlled, professional. Textbook. "Don't move," she said quietly. Marcus tried to struggle. Emma applied pressure. He gasped in pain and went still. The OR doors opened. Dr. Morrison stood there. His mouth hung open. "What the hell just happened?" he breathed. Emma didn't answer. She was already reaching for her pocket. She pulled out her phone and dialed. "This is Chen," she said. "I have a code silver situation. Armed subject subdued. Second floor, ICU wing. I need immediate backup." Morrison stared at her. Who are you calling?" Emma ignored him. She kept her knee firmly on. Marcus's back. Footsteps echoed down the hallway. Running. Multiple people. Security guard Larry appeared first. He was 60 years old and breathing hard. His hand was on his empty holster. Behind him came others, men in dark suits, moving with precision, purpose. They weren't hospital security. The lead agent flashed a badge, FBI. "Ma'am, we'll take it from here," he said. Emma stood smoothly. The agents moved in. They had Marcus cuffed in seconds. They hauled him to his feet. "The weapon," Emma said, pointing to the Glock on the floor. An agent bagged it immediately. Dr. Morrison found his voice. "Emma, what is happening?" Who are these people?" The FBI agent glanced at Emma. She gave a tiny shake of her head. "Wrong place, wrong time, Doc," the agent said. "Your nurse just saved lives tonight." They led Marcus away. He was shouting, cursing. The sound faded down the stairwell. Emma looked down at her hands. Still covered in blood, she walked to the sink and began washing. The water ran pink, then clear. Dr. Morrison stood behind her, speechless. "Sarah needs surgery," Emma said without turning around. "You should get back to her." "Emma, please, doctor." He left, slowly, looking back twice. Emma dried her hands. She returned to the nurse's station, picked up her pen, continued updating charts, but her hand was shaking now, just a little. The adrenaline was fading. The muscle memory was fading. She was just a nurse again, except wasn't, and the night was far from over. 20 minutes passed in tense silence. Emma finished her charts. She checked on her patients. Everything was normal, routine, except for the 3 FBI agents now stationed at the stairwell exits. Dr. Morrison emerged from surgery. He found Emma in the medication room. She was counting pills for the morning rounds. "She'll live," he said. "Sarah, the bullet missed the major vessels." "Lucky." "Good," Emma replied. Morrison leaned against the doorframe. He crossed his arms. "Want to tell me what that was back there?" "A domestic violence situation. I intervened. You disarmed an armed man in 3 seconds flat." Emma placed a pill bottle back on the shelf. "Self-defense training. I took classes." "Classes?" Morrison's voice was flat. "What kind of classes teach you to move like that?" "The useful kind." She walked past him. He caught her arm. "Emma, I've worked with you for 8 months. You're a good nurse, quiet, efficient, but tonight—" He paused. "Tonight you looked like someone else entirely." Emma gently removed his hand from her arm. "I'm the same person I was this morning." Dr. Shi walked away before he could respond. The elevator dinged. Emma's head snapped up. Her body tensed. More men stepped out. Not FBI this time, military. Army uniforms. The lead officer was a colonel. Emma could see his rank from across the hallway. He walked directly to her. "Nurse Chen," he said. "Colonel." Dr. Morrison had followed her out. He watched the exchange with wide eyes. "We need to speak privately," the colonel said. "I'm on shift. It's not a request." Emma glanced at the nurses' station. Jackie was staring. 3 other nurses had stopped their work. Everyone was watching. "Follow me," Emma said. She led him to an empty patient room. "Close the door?" The colonel's aide remained outside. "Standing guard?" "What's happening?" Emma asked. The colonel's expression was grave. "Sarah Porter. The woman you saved? She's not just a domestic violence victim." "Explain." "She's a federal witness. She was scheduled to testify next week against a major arms trafficking operation. Her husband, Marcus, was one of the dealers. When she agreed to testify, we put her in protective custody." Emma's jaw tightened. She ran. 3 days ago. She was scared, didn't trust us. We've been searching for her ever since. And Marcus found her first." The colonel nodded. "He wasn't working alone. We intercepted communications an hour ago. His partners know she's here. They know she survived." Emma's mind raced. "They're coming." "We believe so. We're evacuating the hospital now. Quietly. We don't want to cause panic." "How long?" "We have maybe an hour. Maybe less." Emma looked out the window. The parking lot was dark. Empty. "You need to leave too," the colonel said. "We're bringing in a tactical team." "This is beyond your pay grade, Nurse Chen." Emma turned to face him. Her expression was unreadable.
With respect, Colonel, you don't know my pay grade."
He frowned. "I know you're a civilian nurse. You're not equipped for this." "You're right. I'm not." She paused. "Not as Nurse Emma Chen." The colonel's frown deepened. "What are you talking about?" Emma walked to the door. "Opened it. I need to make a call," she said. "And you need to hold this floor until I get back." Chen. She was already moving. Down the hallway, past the confused nurses, past Dr. Morrison's questions, she took the stairs. 2 at a time, the hospital basement was quiet. Storage, maintenance, no patients. Perfect. Emma pulled out her phone. She dialed a number she hadn't called in 3 years. It rang once. "This is Shepard," a voice answered, male gruff.
"Shepard."
"This is Raven. Authorization code Delta-7-9er-Echo. Silence on the other end. Then Raven? "You're supposed to be dark. I am dark. But I've got a situation. Federal witness in my hospital. Hostile elements inbound. I need immediate extraction authorization for the witness and clearance to engage if necessary. Your hospital. You're working as a... Yes, and I don't have time to explain. Can you authorize or not? More silence. Emma heard typing, computer keys clicking. Clearance granted, Shepard said finally. But Raven, if you're doing what I think you're doing, I know the risks. Your cover was always temporary. She hung up. Emma stood alone in the basement. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. She closed her eyes. For 3 years, she'd been Emma Chen. Nurse, civilian, normal before that. She'd been Captain Emma Chin, 75th Ranger Regiment. Special operations. She'd left that life behind. Too many missions. Too many close calls. Too many friends who didn't come home. She'd wanted peace. Quiet, a chance to save lives instead of taking them. But peace was a luxury, and tonight, it had just run out. Emma opened her eyes. She walked to a storage locker. Keyed in a code. The lock clicked open. Inside was a black duffel bag. Dusty, untouched for 3 years. She unzipped it. Body armor. Tactical radio. A Sig Sauer P323. Loaded magazines. Emma stared at the contents then. She began getting dressed. Emma returned to the second floor 7 minutes. Later, she wore the body armor under an oversized surgical gown. The radio was clipped to her belt, hidden. The weapon was holstered at the small of her back, to anyone watching. She still looked like a nurse, but she moved differently now. Purpose in every step. The colonel was coordinating with his men near the elevators. He saw Emma approaching and walked to meet her. "Chen, I told you to." He stopped. His eyes narrowed. "What are you wearing under that gown?" "Protection? From what?" "I have this under control." Emma looked past him. "For soldiers? Army. Good men, probably. But not enough. Colonel, with respect, for men can't hold this floor against a coordinated assault. We have backup en route. Long." He hesitated. 20 minutes, they'll be here in 10. How do you know that? Emma met his eyes. Because it's what I would do. The colonel studied her face. Really looked at her for the first time. "Who are you?" he asked quietly. "Right now, I'm the person keeping your witness alive." Before he could respond, the lights went out. The entire floor plunged into darkness. Emergency lights flickered on, red, dim, casting. Long shadows. "They're here," Emma said. The colonel grabbed his radio. "All units, we have a power failure." "Hold your positions," Static answered him. "Jamming," Emma said. "They cut the power, and they're jamming communications." "How is that possible?" "This is a hospital. They have resources. Military-grade equipment." A window shattered at the far end of the hallway. Glass exploded inward. Smoke grenades tumbled through. White clouds billowed across the floor. The colonel's men raised their weapons. Flashlights cut through the smoke. "Hold fire." The colonel shouted, "Identify your targets." Emma was already moving. She grabbed the colonel's arm. "Get to Sarah's room. Lock the door. Barricade it. Don't open it for anyone but me. I'm not leaving my men. Your men are about to be in a firefight. Your job is to protect the witness. So protect her." The colonel hesitated, then nodded. He ran toward the OR wing. Disappeared into the smoke. Emma pulled the SIG from her holster. She flicked off the safety. The familiar weight steadied her breathing. She moved along the wall, low, quiet. Shapes emerged from the smoke. 3 men. Tactical gear. Assault rifles. They moved like professionals. Mercenaries. The lead man held up a fist. The others stopped. They were sweeping the hallway. Room by room, looking for Sarah. Emma crouched behind the nurse's station. She keyed her radio. "Shepard, this is Raven. I have 3 hostiles. Second floor. Requesting sitrap on backup. Static." The jamming was total. She was alone. Emma breathed out slowly. She visualized the hallway. Counted the hostiles. Calculated firing angles. Then she stood. Federal agent. She shouted, "Drop your weapons." It was a bluff. She wasn't federal. Not anymore, but they didn't know that. The lead hostile spun toward her voice. His rifle came up. Emma fired first. 2 rounds. Center mass, the man went down. The other 2 scattered. They returned fire. Bullets tore through the drywall above Emma's head. She ducked. Plaster rained down on her shoulders. Emma moved. She vaulted over the nurse's station, rolled, came up firing. 3 more rounds. The second hostile dropped. His rifle clattered to the floor. The third man was smart. He didn't engage. He ran back toward the shattered window. Back toward extraction. Emma sprinted after him. Her feet pounded the linoleum. The hostile reached the window. He was halfway through when Emma caught him. She grabbed his ankle. Yanked hard, he fell back inside. His helmet cracked against the floor. Emma kicked his rifle away. She pressed her cig against the back of his head. "How many?" she demanded. The man said nothing. Emma pressed harder. "How many more are coming?" "6, he gasped. 6 more. They're coming up the stairs right now," Emma swore under her breath. She zip-tied his hands behind his back, used his own flex cuffs from his belt. Then she heard it. Boots, heavy, multiple pairs. Coming from both stairwells, they'd split up. Pincer movement. Emma was in the center. She checked her ammunition. 1 magazine left. 15 rounds against 6 armed hostiles. The math wasn't good, but she'd faced worse odds before. She'd survived worse odds. Before Emma moved to the center of the hallway, she stood in the open, weapon ready. The smoke was clearing. The emergency lights painted everything in shades of red. The stairwell doors opened. East and west, men poured through. 3 from each side. They saw Emma, alone. Standing in the middle of the corridor, they raised their weapons. Emma raised hers. She called out. "Leave now, and I won't kill you." They laughed. One of them shouted back, "You're outnumbered, lady." "You got a death wish?" Emma's finger rested on the trigger. "No," she said quietly, "but you do." The hallway erupted in gunfire. Emma moved like water. She'd trained for this. Drilled it 1,000 times. Muscle memory took over. She fired as she moved. 2 rounds left. 2 rounds right. 2 hostiles dropped. She rolled behind a medication cart. Bullets shredded the metal. She returned fire. 3 more rounds. Another hostile went down. Emma's magazine clicked empty. She ejected it. Slammed in her last mag. 15 rounds left for hostiles remaining. They were advancing. Now, coordinated, professional. Emma was running out of options. Then she heard something else. Helicopters. The windows rattled. The sound was deafening. Spotlights blazed through the smoke. Blinding. A voice boomed over a loudspeaker. "This is the FBI. Drop your weapons. You are surrounded." The hostiles froze. Emma didn't. She fired 4 more rounds. Controlled. Precise. The remaining hostiles went down. The hallway fell silent. Emma stood. Smoke curled around her. Her ears were ringing. Her hands were steady. The stairwell door burst open. FBI tactical team. 12 agents. Rifles, shields. They flooded the hallway. "Clear." Someone shouted. "Clear. We've got multiple suspects down." An agent approached Emma. He saw the weapon in her hand. The body armor under her surgical gown. "Ma'am, I need you to lower your weapon," Emma complied. She placed the cig on the floor. Raised her hands. "I'm Captain Emma Chen," she said. "U.S. Army Rangers, retired. I was defending a federal witness." The agent spoke into his radio, listened. His expression changed. "Stand down," he said to his team. Then to Emma, "Captain Chen, we've been briefed. Thank you for holding the line." Emma nodded. She walked past them. Down the hallway? Toward the OR wing. Toward Sarah's room? The colonel opened the door. He looked at Emma, at the smoke. At the bodies being secured by the FBI? What happened out there? He asked. Emma was too tired to answer. She just walked past him. Into Sarah's room. Sarah was awake. Pale, frightened, but alive. It's over, Emma said softly. You're safe now. Sarah began to cry. Emma sat beside the bed. She took Sarah's hand, and for a moment, she was just a nurse again. Dawn broke over Mercy General Hospital. The power had been restored. The smoke had cleared. Crime scene investigators moved through the second floor with cameras and evidence bags. Emma sat in the break room. Someone had brought her coffee. It had gone cold an hour ago. She still wore the surgical gown. The body armor underneath made her shoulders ache. Dr. Morrison appeared in the doorway. He'd been in surgery all night. His eyes were bloodshot. His scrubs were stained. Emma, he said. She looked up. I need to understand what happened tonight. You know what happened? Armed men tried to kill a witness. They failed. Morrison pulled up a chair, sat down heavily. The FBI won't tell me anything. The Army colonel won't tell me anything. But I saw what you did, Emma. I saw you disarm Marcus like it was nothing. I saw you standing in that hallway afterward. Surrounded by, he stopped, swallowed hard. Surrounded by bodies, Emma said nothing. Who are you? Morrison asked quietly. Really? Before Emma could answer, the door opened again. A woman entered. FBI Emma recognized the stance, the sharp eyes, the confidence. Dr. Morrison, I need the room, the woman said. It wasn't a request. Morrison stood. He looked at Emma one more time. Then he left. The FBI agent sat down. She placed a folder on the table. Captain Chen, she said. I'm Special Agent Rivera. I'm the case agent for Sarah Porter. How is she? Stable, thanks to you. Rivera opened the folder. I've been reviewing your service record. It's impressive. 3 tours, multiple commendations. Silver Star, Purple Heart. Emma stared at her coffee. You left the Army 3 years ago, Rivera continued. Medical discharge after the Kandahar incident. Emma's jaw tightened. You don't have to talk about it, Rivera said quickly. I read the reports. What you went through. What you lost? Why are you here, Agent Rivera? Rivera closed the folder, leaned forward. Because you just saved a federal witness and eliminated a major threat. And because certain people in Washington are very interested in talking to you, I'm not interested in talking to them. Emma. Captain Chen left the service. I'm a nurse now. That's all I want to be. Rivera studied her. Is it? Emma stood. I need to check on my patients. Your shift ended 4 hours ago. Then I need to go home. Emma walked to the door. Rivera's voice stopped her. There's someone waiting for you. Downstairs? He's been there for 2 hours. Emma turned. Who? You'll see. Emma left the break room. She took the elevator down. Her mind was exhausted. Her body ached. She just wanted to leave. Go home. Shower. Sleep. Forget tonight. Had ever happened? The elevator doors opened. The lobby was crowded. Police, FBI, hospital staff. Reporters were being kept outside. But Emma could see the news vans through the glass doors. Then she saw him. In dress uniform. Army 4 stars on his shoulders. General Marcus. Blackwood. Emma's former commanding officer. Her breath caught. Blackwood saw her. He walked across the lobby. People moved aside. The FBI agents straightened. Even the police officers stood a little taller. Emma didn't move. Blackwood stopped in front of her. He looked older than she remembered. More gray in his hair, more lines around his eyes, Captain Chen, he said. General, I hear you had an eventful night. Sir, I was just Blackwood held up a hand. I know what you were doing. I've been briefed. You saved a federal witness. You held off a coordinated assault. You neutralized multiple hostiles. He paused. You did what you were trained to do. Emma looked down. I'm not a soldier anymore, sir. No, you're not. Blackwood's voice was gentle. You're a nurse. You save lives. That's honorable work. Then why are you here? Blackwood glanced around the lobby. Too many ears. Walk with me, he said. They stepped outside. The morning air was cold, clean. The sun was rising over the city. Blackwood led her away from the reporters. Away from the chaos? The army made a mistake 3 years ago, he said finally. Emma stopped walking. Sir Kandahar. The ambush. Your team, Blackwood's expression, was pained. You were given impossible orders. Your team paid the price, and then the army blamed you for it. I was the commanding officer. It was my responsibility. You were scapegoated. Blackwood met her eyes. I've spent 3 years reviewing that mission. The intelligence was wrong. The support was inadequate. You did everything right, Emma. Your team died because of institutional failure, not because of you. Emma felt something crack inside her chest. 3 years of guilt. 3 years of wondering if she could have done something different. The army owes you an apology, Blackwood continued. I owe you an apology. Sir, I don't, and I'm here to offer you something. Emma frowned. What? Your rank back? Your position back? A full reinstatement with back pay and honors. The world seemed to tilt. Double quotes, sir. I can't. I've moved on. I have a life now, do you? Blackwood asked gently. Or are you hiding? Emma had no answer. Blackwood handed her a card. Think about it. Take your time. But Emma, the army needs people like you. People who can make the hard choices. People who don't quit. Started to walk away. Then he paused. Hey, by the way, he said, there are some people upstairs who want to meet you. Your hospital colleagues? I think they have questions. Emma's stomach sank. They know. The FBI tried to keep it quiet. But word spreads. Blackwood smiled slightly. You're about to become very popular, Captain Chen. He left. Emma stood alone in the parking lot. She looked down at the card in her hand. General Marcus Blackwood. Direct line. She thought about Sarah. Alive because Emma had been there. She thought about the hostiles. Stopped because Emma hadn't backed down. She thought about her team. The ones who didn't come home from Kandahar. They'd want her to keep fighting, Emma. Took a deep breath. Then she walked back inside. The second floor had been cleaned. The bullet holes were still there, but the bodies were gone. Yellow crime scene tape marked the areas where the firefight had occurred. Emma stepped off the elevator. The entire nursing staff was waiting. Jackie, Morrison, Dr. Harrison, the night shift, the day shift. Even the hospital administrator, Mr. Pearson, was there. They stood in a semicircle. Staring at her, Emma felt exposed, vulnerable. So it's true, Dr. Harrison said. His voice was quiet, disbelieving. You're not just a nurse. Emma didn't know what to say. Dr. Morrison stepped forward. The FBI told us, not everything, but enough. He paused. You were Army. Special Operations. 75th Rangers, Emma said quietly. The words felt strange in her mouth. Like a confession. You were a captain, Jackie added. Her eyes were wide. You led missions in Afghanistan? Emma nodded. Mr. Pearson cleared his throat. He looked uncomfortable. Miss Chen, when you applied for this position, you didn't disclose your military background. I didn't lie on my application. I listed my nursing credentials. Everything was accurate. But you omitted significant information. My past wasn't relevant to my work here. Wasn't relevant? Dr. Harrison's voice rose. You've been working alongside us for 8 months. We thought you were just a nurse. We treated you like an equal. Emma's voice was calm. Like a colleague. Harrison stopped. His face flushed. You called me adequate, Emma said. You questioned my decisions? You ignored my input during emergencies. She looked around at the faces. All of you did. Because I was quiet? Because I didn't demand respect? Silence fell over the group. Jackie spoke up. Emma, I'm sorry. We should have you don't need to apologize. I chose to keep my past private. I chose to be underestimated. Emma's eyes were steady. But last night I didn't have a choice. People needed help. So I helped them. You killed people, Mr. Pearson said. His voice was strained. I stopped people who were trying to commit murder, Emma corrected. There's a difference. The elevator dinged behind them. Everyone turned. General Blackwood stepped out. This time, he wasn't alone. A full honor guard accompanied him. 8 soldiers in dress uniform, and behind them, a woman in a dark suit. Emma recognized her instantly. Secretary of Defense Catherine Walsh. The hallway went completely silent. Secretary Walsh walked forward. Her heels clicked on the linoleum. She stopped in front of Emma. Captain Chen, she said. Emma straightened. Old habits. Madam Secretary, I've reviewed your actions last night. I've also reviewed your service record. Walsh's expression was unreadable. What you did here was extraordinary. I did my job, ma'am. You did more than that. Walsh turned to address the crowd. This woman is a decorated war hero. She earned the Silver Star for valor, the Purple Heart for wounds received in combat. She saved countless lives during her service. Dr. Harrison's face had gone pale. Morrison was staring at Emma like he'd never seen her before. Walsh continued. 3 years ago, Captain Chen left the military. She wanted a quieter life. She wanted to use her skills to heal instead of fight. Walsh looked back at Emma. But last night, when civilians were in danger, she didn't hesitate. She put herself in harm's way to protect others. The secretary nodded to General Blackwood. Blackwood stepped forward. He was holding a small box. Captain Emma Chen, he said formally, for your actions in defense of federal witnesses and civilian personnel, for your exemplary courage under fire, and for upholding the highest standards of the United States Army, I am authorized to present you with the Distinguished Service Medal. He opened the box. The medal gleamed. Emma's throat tightened. You don't have to accept it, Blackwood said quietly, so only Emma could hear. But you've earned it. Emma looked at the medal, then at the faces around her. Jackie was crying. Morrison looked stunned. Even Harrison seemed moved. Thank you, sir, Emma said. She bowed her head. Blackwood pinned the medal to her scrubs. It looked out of place. A piece of military honor on civilian clothing, but it felt right. When Blackwood stepped back, did something unexpected. He saluted. A 4-star general. Saluting a retired captain, the honor guard followed suit. 8 hands snapped to their foreheads. Then Secretary Walsh saluted as well. Emma's eyes burned. She returned the salute, crisp. Perfect. Once a ranger, always a ranger, Blackwood said. The salutes dropped. The honor guard turned and filed back to the elevator. Secretary Walsh shook Emma's hand. If you ever decide to come back, Walsh said, we'll have a place for you. And she was gone. Blackwood followed. The elevator doors closed. Emma stood in the hallway. The medal was heavy on her chest. Dr. Morrison was the first to speak. Emma, He stopped. Started again. I'm sorry. I had no idea. You weren't supposed to. I was arrogant. It's dismissive. You saved lives last night, and I barely acknowledged it. Emma met his eyes. I don't need acknowledgement. I just need to do my job. Jackie stepped forward. She was still crying. Can I hug you? Emma nodded. Jackie wrapped her arms around Emma. Tight. Emma stiffened for a moment, then relaxed. When Jackie pulled back, she was smiling. You're the most badass person I've ever met. Emma couldn't help it. She smiled too. Mr. Pearson cleared his throat. Miss Chen, I think we need to discuss your role here going forward. Emma tensed. The hospital board would like to offer you a position, Pearson continued. Director of Security and Crisis Response. It's a new position. Created this morning. You'd still be able to work as a nurse, but you'd also oversee safety protocols and emergency preparedness. Emma blinked. You want me to stay? We want you to lead, Pearson said. Dr. Harrison stepped forward. He extended his hand. I was wrong about you, he said simply. I'd be honored to work under your expertise. Emma shook his hand. Over the next hour, the story came out. Emma told them what she could. The training, the missions, the reasons she left. She told them about Kandahar, about the team she lost. about the guilt that had driven her away from the military, and she told them why she became a nurse. "I wanted to save people," she said. "I'd spent so long taking lives. I needed to give life back." Jackie wiped her eyes. "You did. You saved Sarah. You saved all of us." Emma looked down at the medal on her chest. Then she unpinned it, placed it in her pocket. "I'm still a nurse," she said. "That hasn't changed." "But you're also a soldier," Morrison said. Emma thought about that. About the two parts of herself she'd tried to keep separate. Maybe they didn't have to be separate. Maybe she could be both. "I'm whatever I need to be," Emma said finally. "When people need help, I help them. It's that simple." The sun was fully up now. The morning shift was starting. Patients needed care. Life was returning to normal. Emma walked to the nurse's station. She picked up a chart. Jackie joined her. "So, boss, what's first?" Emma smiled. "Room 34. Mr. Patterson's blood pressure needs checking." On it, they worked together. Routine, familiar, healing. But now there was respect. Now there was understanding. Emma Chen was still a nurse, but she was also a ranger. She was a protector, a warrior, a healer, and she was exactly where she needed to be. The end.